Good morning. Good morning. Good day to you, whatever time it is where you are now as you're watching this. It is 9 a.m. Pacific time. It is Friday, TGIF, which I am calling Thanks, Gratitude, Introspection, Fellowship. I'm not sold on introspection, so if you've got other acronyms, I'm open to it. In fact, I'm open to hearing almost anything that's on your mind. Most urgent is what are you grateful for? Maybe where you are. I'm in San Diego, California. Birds are screeching or singing, chirping, depending on your tone. I am so grateful to start the day with you or continue your day, to be reminded that we're surrounded by like-minded, open-hearted people, sharing a little gratitude between us, reminding each other that we are the ambassadors. We are creating ripples. And when we get together with goodness in our hearts, we don't think about the end, just the starts. There's so many things that we can share together. Could it be a nice outfit or even sunny weather? Happy gratitude, happy Friday. Happy introspection on your driveway. And if you got something to share, do it in your underwear. We all have lots to care about your gratitude. Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. Welcome to Hug Nation. I am John Halcyon Stin. I have a YouTube channel called Hug Nation. I hope you're watching it as we speak. I hope you're subscribed. Oh, that would be so great if you're subscribed. And I hope you're on my mailing list, although I don't send out much, but you can sign yourself up over at lifestudent.com, as well as links to my t-shirt store where you get like this one. Sexy, Silly, Sacred. Links to lots of goodness. And if you're on my mailing list, then I can let you know as I make details about the upcoming Love Ambassador meetup that's going to happen in January 11th, the weekend of January 11th. We're going to get together in San Diego. Hello, Sarah. Hello to you in Eugene, where the breezes are getting chilly. Good morning. Hello, Moosecock. Hello to you in Calgary. Good to see you again. Hello, Joyous. Hello, hello, hello. Anna, good morning. Anna is grateful that my lovely daughter is home from New York City and singing her heart out. The house is filled with music again. As I mentioned, I am freshly back from attending Lisa's choir, or the choir that she leads in Monterey area. And I too am appreciating song. Great morning to you, Jason. Sarah is grateful for the changing of the seasons. Me too. I mean, what we have for seasons in San Diego, but it is cooling off, and I like the opportunity to wear long sleeves, sometimes even a layer. Joyce's great gratitude for astrology and major transitions and being attuned to the healing and growth taking place. Grateful for day 2 at the dream job. That's thank you for sharing that. Yay! Good to hear that you are in your dream job. Go, 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 go. Good morning, Heidi. Heidi is grateful for discovering the percussion guitarist Marcin and his version of Kashmir. Music is such an excellent way to experience joy in life. And as we are doing our practice of gratitude, music is an easy one to creep into the take for granted. Next time you pop on a Spotify station or the radio, imagine how difficult, how much effort was required to listen to music a couple hundred years ago. 1,000 years ago, imagine you would have to play an instrument. You'd have to take a pilgrimage to a city and have enough wealth to witness a performance. And we have access to all the music that's ever existed on demand. I read a science fiction book about the Time Traveler Bureau, something like that. And there was a person who was from the 1800s that was brought into the present day. And the thing that he marveled at was music. He just kept playing these songs. He kept playing it like, I mean, it was such a special occasion for him in his lifetime to hear music played in an orchestra and to be able to listen to music anytime he wanted to. He just thought that was, an abundance, a wealth that was unfathomable. And to us, it's like we barely even notice it until it's something like I went to a choir performance and wow. But I mean, I think I've made my point. Wow, so much to be grateful for. And that's why a gratitude practice is so important, is because you can take all the stuff that we have beat into our take for granted baseline. And so that all we're aware of is what's not working, what are the problems, and go, no, let's pull that music out from under the no longer noticing it and go, oh, I can listen to music anytime I want. I can design a t-shirt and have it sent to me anytime I want. I can design my own clothes, and I don't even know how to sew. Don't get me started. Oh, wait, no, I've already started. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Good morning, Juan. Great to see you. Kiri, good morning. Kiri is grateful for her amazing new roommate and the gratitude session we shared this morning. I love that. Also grateful for the challenging day she had yesterday. Many of my dark shadows were illuminated in new ways, and I'm so grateful I allowed myself to go through it and feel it all. Yes. I know that I talked about Lisa yesterday, but I don't remember if I told this story of how we were talking about the move. Well, I was looking through the garage and realizing how much organizing and packing and things I need to do. And I started to get kind of a little dysregulated. And I had the thought, this is Lisa's fault. She's the one that wants to move. And stop me if I told this yesterday. And I had this thought. And so I was able to so quickly go, wait a minute. The day before, Lisa and I had a conversation about this move. And initially, yes, she was the one that instigated the desire to move. But since then, we've talked a dozen times where she's continually checking in with me, making sure that she's clear. We are only interested in a win-win. And so the day before, when we were talking about some move stuff, we hit a topic where I kind of got jolted, and I was a little and I got quiet, and and Lisa was like, if you're getting dysregulated, maybe that's a sign that we're moving too fast. And we can, slow it down, make some different decisions. And after last night, so I had this thought of the packing, and it's her fault. And I'm like, it's absolutely not her fault. But it was so easy to compare this thought I had to what has the evidence. The evidence is she's not on another side than me. We are a single side. So the fact, as this voice came up, this thought of, it was so easy to go, oh, a part of me is having a tantrum. Oh, and it was, and I immediately was able to almost like smile. It was almost like watching a toddler complaining because their shirt's too blue, and like my baseball shirt is too blue. I want to quit. I want to, you know. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. And so I was able to go back to Lisa and say, hey, I appreciate your desire to not push and to avoid dysregulation, but I want to push back on that because I know moving is going to be stressful for me. Moving is going to have discomfort. And it is through this strength of us, this anchoring of our relationship, that I feel so safe, so that when I get dysregulated, I know that I have this base to lean back on. So I'm not as afraid to get dysregulated. I'm not afraid to be stressed, knowing that I have that. And so actually, I don't want to avoid the discomfort. I want to allow it, embrace it, so that I can work through and let go, so that our path is not one of avoiding conflict, but is actually headed towards where we want to go. And it might mean taking breaks until the tantrum passes. But I wanted her to know it is not you. I need you to not be afraid of a tantrum and to be patient with me so that I can grow and we can grow together. So it's kind of an exciting place for me to be. To even have that thought of, I don't need to avoid discomfort. I have, I'm not alone. I'm not unsafe. And I really have the belief that no matter what happens, if I'm with her, it's going to be okay. And that is a place of security that is quite new and refreshing and exciting. I just need to remind myself when I feel that, wait, actually, remember, you're totally safe. You've got that security. Like, okay. Heidi says, I love thinking about time travel. Kiri says, I was noticing how awesome it is that I can use my laptop outside on the balcony and connect to the internet without plugging into a wall. How amazing is that? Every part of that sentence is amazing. You have a laptop? You can compute and touch the internet while being outside? Heidi, the new shirts are available at lovemorefearless.com. Or if you go to lifestudent.com, that has a link to all my stuff. But lovemorefearless.com is my t-shirt store, or it should redirect to the t-shirt store. Juan says, how do you start a theme camp? There's a few ways to answer that. One is there's a submission process where you put you send a camp plan to placement. So I think if you search the burningman.org site for theme camp application or theme camps, I believe there's information on how you submit a camp. And then you have layout drawings and what you're going to do for interactivity. It's got a whole, it's an online form, but there's got all these forms. In fact, if it's available, you can look through the form and it will help you actually figure out all the things that you need to figure out. Your interactivity, your layout, are you going to have fire? What are you going to have there? And how are you going to deal with blah, 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 blah. It has all these questions. And then you just have to say, hey, who wants to be in my theme camp? This is what we're going to do. Kiri says, yes, that is such a good approach. You are safe to explore the challenge. saying, let's record a podcast about that. Okay, that sounds like a great idea. I may have to give Lisa a right of first refusal so that she doesn't get jealous. She is viciously jealous. No, she's not. Anyone else have anything that they would like to share, something that they're grateful for? Maybe something, let's, in this moment, everybody think of something that you maybe yesterday were taking for granted, and today, we can bring it into consciousness from the foundation up into awareness. Yesterday, I recorded a podcast with Betsy. It's going to go live maybe in an hour. She is in North Carolina dealing with the aftermath of Helena. And so she's on the broadcast, she talks about what they're doing for water. And like, so she was in a situation, and many people are in a situation where they're having to go to wells and carry the water that they're using. So washing dishes, bathing, these are things that are being done with very conscious appreciation of water. It's not an endless supply on tap. It is a limited resource that requires your labor. So you really think about, is this worth the effort? Or how can I really value this limited resource? And we live in a time when we are so disconnected from the supply chain of everything. Meat comes from a store or a restaurant. No, meat is an animal that is raised and then killed and butchered. And then, so like, we are outside of all of these supply chain things, and we live in a magical world until you're not, which is one of the reasons why Burning Man is such a great educator, because you get a sense of how precious some of the things you take for granted are. Kiri says, Lisa can record it with us. See, that's why you have a voice that should be listened to. Anybody else want to throw a little gratitude in before Friday? Oh, I have a bunch of things to share. Like in that I was looking through that Monopoly money I shared yesterday, and I picked out all of the good chance cards and community chests, like Bank Air in your favor, 200 bones. Yeah. Or Advance to Go, collect 200. Moosecock says, I am thankful for my brother. We grew apart for a while, but we are super close now. He supported me during my cancer journey, and we reconnected in a magical way. I'm better now. Yes. And I recently introduced him to Burning Man. He drank all the Kool-Aid. Oh, what a cool gift to give to a sibling. I went to Burning Man my first year, my first like 6-7 years with my brother, and it continues to be a really cool shared experience. Heidi says, watching the news, I was grateful I do not live in a place where hurricanes happen. We get an occasional earthquake here in North California, but the big ones are rare. Yeah. It's so hard to get my head around the idea that we are living in changing times where the possibility of disaster seems to be increasing. And it's hard to think about how do I need to adjust my life, my planning. Like I was thinking this morning, there's all these guides that we put out by Burners Without Borders, but here's the paperwork that you should get in place before the hurricane hits, your insurance forms and all sorts of things that you should have ready. And I'm like, I should probably do that now. And, not after an earthquake. Kiri says, I'm grateful for your reminder today to appreciate and value the things I take for granted every day. Amen. into that. So it looks like people are starting to filter away. So maybe I will hold off the rest of my show and tell. Oh no, I'm going to show you a couple more things. One, I'll talk about this more another time. But I refound this book, Notes to Myself by Hugh Prather. This is a really impactful book on me 20, 30 years ago. I thought it was like this little known thing that I found on a used bookstore, but it turns out it actually was like a bestseller. It's like a 70s, and it's just these little like thoughts, but it's a very honest authenticity exploration, which I found to be really refreshing, So I rediscovered that and have been looking at that. The other thing, I started painting and drawing again, so I wanted to show my newest drawings. There's a few I did last night. Little Halloween themed one. This is one I started during the post-burn integration group, but I just painted it last night. I like this one's colors. All right. Oh, Carrie says, read one or two. Okay, good idea. I am noticing that when I am bored, I think I am tired of my surroundings, but I am really tired of my thoughts. It is trite, repetitious, unobserved thinking that is producing the discontent. Adopting a quiet awareness, a kind of listening attitude, usually freshens my mind and brings the situation I am in to life. If my attention is wandering, there is somewhere it wants to go. So obviously, it does not want me to be where I am, holding it in the name of some self-styled obligation. Heidi says, love the art. Reminds us that we can all make art. Yes, I know intellectually that part of being a human is creating and being creative and artistically creating. And it's still hard. And I still have these voices. Like as I'm drawing, I like drawing these faces that are very similar. They're very simple. I like drawing them and painting them. And they make me happy. And I'll still have a voice going like, you're not doing enough variety. These are going to bore people. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who are these people? And why is that relevant? I mean, I did just show them to you, but I've been, cranking them out just because I'll like watch a show while I'm doing that. And it's so much, it itches a part of maybe itches is the wrong word. It expresses a little bit of humanity that I don't feel with digital creation. Well, I am getting an oil change today, so I better really get moving. So wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big old squeeze. Feel connected in this moment. Feel ourselves as part of this massive team of ambassadors spreading goodness and acceptance and patience, kindness to ourselves and others. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here for some TGIF gratitude. Have a beautiful weekend, or I'll